Palmistry's been around for thousands of years, and particularly the word palmistry, you can hear it, can't you? Palm, which is Greek, and the other bit afterwards means to study. So studying hands has been around for thousands of years. Science has begun to measure and test out, and it's the measure and test which is actually showing now that the connections between old-fashioned palmistry and what we know today as decoding the hand are actually notions born in science. They do work out. If we can get a handprint from somebody and we can then see the lines and we can use black ink, we can actually see their story of life. In other words, past, present, future is much more accessible. But we can tell all sorts of things, from potential to, if you like, propensity to certain types of diseases, opportunities to see people's talents and their ability to bringing those talents to being in the real world. They often make a better success of their life if they're more aware. And palmistry helps you become more self-aware. The foundation course is exactly what it says. It brings the structure of palmistry to life, and generally over 10 weeks people get to learn the basics of palmistry and can, by the end of that course, start to begin to read for family and friends, and then from there people can move on into the intermediate and advanced to a more life path analysis, telling people, if you like, the rest of the story. If you just shake your hands for a moment, okay? Shake your hands, put them together slowly, put your thumb on top, which feels right for you. And anybody here got a left thumb on top? Yes. Okay. These people with left thumb on tops are getting in touch with their right side of their brain, and that right side of the brain is about creativity, feelings, emotions. So we can say you people with the left thumb on top are feely thinkers. You feel the thoughts rather than just think them. So if you've got right thumb on top, you are a person, and Susie's got right thumb on top, and so has Joe. These people, generally speaking, are people who like to see structures, like to see order, and like to see evidence. So it has to be structured or being seen clearly. They're not so much in the emotions and feelings, okay, as you left thumb people on top are more the feely thinkers, and you like to feel things as well as thinking, but you feel first, think next. Certain types of fingers have certain types of prints, of which there are basically 5 different types, and that in itself is a DNA printing. I like to call it the soul DNA, is what you're coming in with, and from 13 weeks your fingerprints are set. So we do know that that is DNA imprinting. We'll start with the thumb, because the thumb is about the personality and the way that they like to get on with things, the do part of the hand. It's an unusual one, isn't it? We don't see many of these. It's a, what do we call that thumbprint? A composite, yes. It's like 2 loops in one. And it shows the ability to fix. So look at it one way, look at it another, and these people like to fix people as well as instruments and things like that. And they have that stamp because it's a DNA stamp, and it's your soul DNA trying to fix the world. So he's a good fixer of things that have come out of balance. It's a lovely talent to have, don't you think? The psychological process of palmistry is complete, but it comes from all over the hand. A simple example would be if you have a particular straight line in your hand, which is your head line, which is connected to the way you think. If it's absolutely straight, you're going to be practical and applied. If it's much curved than that, then you are going to be more creative, and you apply your creativity through, if you like, the curvature, which will be application to music or song or dance or artwork or art forms. So, going back to the fingers, you can see on here, if you look at the screen, the way to measure the length of a finger is from the top to the bottom where it sits on the hand, and we bring it down to where it joins the hand, down the palm, and it's nearly 3/4 of the palm itself. And 3/4 means it's long. So long fingers show organising, detail, and it's a thinker. So thinking, organisation and detail. He's got all those traits in his hand. It's a bit like going for an interview with yourself. And as you begin to interview yourself, you can actually see things in the hand which are pointed out to you, and they are real. So in a sense, these things are based in reality, not in a make-believe way. The evidence is there, so we're evidence-based, if you like, and that is the science side, which is been so sorely missing over the last probably few hundred years, but it's coming back now at its evidence-based purpose. Here we go. We're now looking at the skin pattern underneath the hand, and we call this dermatoglyphics, the sign on the hand. Can you see these lines are running over the top of the wallpaper, if you like? Can you see that? So the wallpaper's underneath, and when we get some lines creeping over the wallpaper like this in this part of the hand, which is the mount of the moon, these lines are inclined to show some intolerance towards foodstuffs, and you can see a couple coming in now. So it's only low level at the moment. If that gets very, very dark indeed, it does show a slightly addictive nature towards sugars and digestive problems because of sugars. And so maybe a warning here to the gentleman about his foodstuffs and what he's taking in. Remember, this is all genetic, so it's coming in from the past as well. This is in the present hand. His right hand shows that he's probably somewhat aware of this already. We can see ourselves developing from now and into the future. It can be quite revealing and can be very, very positive for those people who lack positivity. So it is quite healing in its own way as well, understanding the beauty of your own life story.